Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Known fondly as FDR, he served an unprecedented 4 terms in office, leading the nation through the tumultuous eras of the Great Depression and World War II. His presidency was marked by audacious reforms, unwavering leadership, and a profound impact on American society. Born into a wealthy and politically connected family in Hyde Park, New York, in 1882, Franklin Delano Roosevelt was destined for a life of public service. He excelled academically, graduating from Harvard University and Columbia Law School, and embarked on a successful legal career. In 1910, FDR was elected to the New York State Senate, where he quickly gained a reputation for his progressive ideas and his ability to connect with ordinary citizens. In 1913, President Woodrow Wilson appointed him Assistant Secretary of the Navy, a position he held until 1920, when he was nominated as the Democratic vice presidential candidate. Roosevelt's political career took a dramatic turn in 1921, when he was struck by polio, a debilitating disease that left him partially paralyzed. Despite his physical challenges, Roosevelt refused to let his condition define him. He underwent extensive rehabilitation, relying on a wheelchair and braces to move about, and remained committed to public service. In 1933, FDR was elected president amidst the worst economic crisis in American history, the Great Depression. The nation was reeling from widespread unemployment, poverty, and social unrest. FDR's response was swift and transformative. He introduced a series of programs and initiatives collectively known as the New Deal, aimed at reviving the economy, providing relief for the unemployed, and reforming the financial system. Key New Deal programs included the Civilian Conservation Corps, which employed young men in conservation projects, the Works Progress Administration, which created jobs in construction and other industries, and the Social Security Act, which established a nationwide social insurance system. The New Deal's impact was profound. It helped to alleviate the worst effects of the Great Depression, stabilize the economy, and lay the foundation for a more equitable society. Roosevelt, elected to his 3rd term in 1940, faced the daunting task of guiding America through a time of unprecedented global turmoil. Despite the growing threat posed by Nazi Germany and its allies, the United States remained officially neutral, adhering to its traditional policy of isolationism. However, Roosevelt recognized the looming danger and sought to bolster the defense of America's allies while maintaining a diplomatic stance. In 1941, Roosevelt signed the Lend-Lease Act, a landmark piece of legislation that allowed the United States to provide military and economic aid to nations fighting against the Axis powers. This unprecedented program marked a shift in America's foreign policy, signaling its commitment to supporting the Allies and preparing for its eventual entry into the war. The turning point came on December 7, 1941, when the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, a devastating blow to the American naval fleet. Roosevelt, now faced with a clear declaration of war, rallied the nation with his famous infamy speech. He declared war on Japan, and in response to Germany's declaration of war on the United States, the country was thrust into the global conflict. As the war raged on, Roosevelt became the preeminent leader of the Allied forces. He forged strategic partnerships with British Prime Minister Winston Churchill and with Soviet leader Joseph Stalin, forming the powerful alliance that would ultimately defeat the Axis powers. Roosevelt's leadership extended beyond diplomacy to encompass the mobilization of the American economy for war. Under his direction, the United States transformed into a manufacturing powerhouse, producing the vast quantities of weapons, supplies, and equipment needed to sustain the Allied war effort. In 1942, recognizing the potential of nuclear weapons, Roosevelt authorized the Manhattan Project, a top-secret research initiative to develop the atomic bomb. This ambitious project, conducted in secrecy, ultimately culminated in the creation of 2 atomic bombs, which would play a pivotal role in the war's conclusion. President Roosevelt not only focused on winning the war, but also on shaping the world that would emerge from it. He envisioned a post-war world based on international cooperation and the principles of the Atlantic Charter, which championed democracy, self-determination, and collective security. This vision laid the foundation for the establishment of the United Nations, an organization that continues to play a vital role in maintaining global peace and stability. On April 12, 1945, President Franklin D. Roosevelt died at Warm Springs, Georgia, while recovering from a cerebral hemorrhage. He was 63 years old. His death came only 82 days after he had been inaugurated to a 4th term as president.